Hello and welcome to the Paul Green Comedy PaulCast. This is for November 30th, 2024, episode 339. Oh my gosh. We are coming down to the final episodes of my 365 daily episode goal. Stand-up comedian, actor, improviser, and dreamer Paul Green, sharing my thoughts and insights as I pursue my dreams in the hopes that you will pursue yours. And I am getting this episode out a lot later than I had hoped. I had a very long week last week of travel. I drove out to Los Angeles to support my LA agent. He did a birthday comedy show, and so I went and supported that. It was his 60th birthday, and then I turned around and drove the other direction, pretty much 13 hours or so, to New Mexico, where I performed at a casino, and then turned around and drove back home. And it has just been a lot of driving and a lot of recovering, and I am ready to hop on the road again. So I'm going to be driving to Sedona today and doing another casino gig, and then driving to Pine Top, Arizona tomorrow for another casino gig. And, sometimes you just got to stop and look at where you are and go, it's pretty incredible that I'm having these opportunities. I think, at least for me, it's so easy to always be looking at the next thing, wanting the next big thing, trying to get the next big accomplishment. And sometimes I just have to go, when I started comedy 10 years ago, or stand-up comedy rather, did I ever think there would be a time where I would be traveling to 3 separate casinos in a week, unbooked gigs, and that I would have a commercial agent in Los Angeles? It's all relative. I think it's easy to get discouraged. I know for me, to not be where you think you wanted to be. But if I just turn around and look at where I have been in the past or where I was, and just look at where I've come, it's sometimes good just to be grateful and go, man, okay, all right. I've made a lot of progress in the last 10 years, and a lot of incredible things have happened. And I've had to wade through a lot of discouraging experiences and a lot of frustrations and a lot of disappointment. And quite frankly, 10 years ago, I was probably not happy with where I was then either. So, the more that I pursue this journey, the more that I am really trying to understand and comprehend that all I have is right now, is this moment. And that doesn't mean, don't plan for the future. That doesn't mean make foolish mistakes. That doesn't mean be careless with this moment. But to me, it does remind me of how important it is to be grateful for each stage of the journey. Because if I can't be grateful, fulfilled, and happy with where I am right now, then being somewhere else 10 years from now, well, I'm probably just going to be unhappy and discontented with where I am then and want to get somewhere else. And I really think that is the magic trick of this whole process. That is the real secret, is how I choose to feel and perceive and process each moment is a choice. And if I am always looking for happiness or fulfillment or satisfaction or contentment in some sort of nebulous future, well, that future is always going to be nebulous, because whenever I get to whatever that future point is, well, then I'm just going to be looking to whatever the next future is. So in this moment right now, I am just incredibly grateful, incredibly fulfilled, incredibly content with where I'm at, with the experiences that I'm having, that there's a booker who books me for casino gigs, and I have the means and the resources to travel to these casinos and to be able to entertain whatever audience happens to show up at the time, and be able to hone my craft and be able to pursue my dreams as a comedian. And it's really incredible. And yes, do I have very big ambitions and very big dreams? Do I desire even more expansive experiences and opportunities? Absolutely. But I keep reminding myself that if I can't be happy with what I'm experiencing right now, that once those bigger opportunities come, they ain't going to make me any more happy. They ain't going to make me any more fulfilled. They aren't going to change anything if I don't learn how to be happy and fulfilled in this moment. This magic moment. So that's where I'm at right now. I'm just in this stage of happiness and contentment and gratitude for where I'm at. And I still have big ambitions and big dreams and big goals that I'm pursuing and going for. And I do that unapologetically and with as much energy and faith and drive as I can. And I don't know, that's what's given my life so much meaning and fulfillment, and coupling that with the relationships and people in my life, and deepening the relationships with the people who are with me on this journey, because there have been enough studies out there, everybody, that no level of money or level of fame or material possessions makes anybody any more happier if they come at the expense of meaningful relationships. And I think that is really fascinating to me, because our modern capitalist society, man, which, don't get me wrong, I'm all about capitalism, but the endless pursuit of wealth and possession has really been proven on countless studies to not make anybody any more happy. Getting the next Porsche or the next iPhone or the next promotion didn't make anybody that much more happy. What brings happiness is the quality of relationships. And that is also something that I'm always keeping in mind as I pursue these dreams, is that I don't ever want them to come at the expense of meaningful, deep, connected, authentic relationships. And that doesn't mean that friendships will come and go, or that maybe, relationships evolve. But if getting to the top means you're alone, then that is probably going to be an unhappy and an unfulfilling pursuit and experience. So trying to keep all of that in mind and doing all of that while still having big goals, big dreams, big ambitions, and again, pursuing them unapologetically. That's where I'm at right now on this day. And you want to know what happened this morning? Is I got an invoice from a website called podbean.com. Now, what is podbean.com? It's this website that distributes podcasts amongst multiple podcast outlets, like Spotify and iTunes and all that stuff. Now, why is that significant? It's because this morning was my yearly invoice. So I signed up for Podbean exactly 1 year ago today when I decided that I was going to start doing a daily podcast. So this is my 1 year anniversary, everybody. Now, as you know, those who listen to the podcast, my goal was to do this every day last year. So I should be at episode 365 today if I had kept that goal. But I fell a little short, as this is episode 339. So I'm 26 days short. I missed 26 days in a calendar year. Not too shabby. So I am going to keep that goal. I'm going to get 365 episodes of a daily podcast. And then at that point, I'm going to reanalyze what I want to do with this podcast. Anybody listens, if I have any loyal listeners out there, if you have any thoughts or feedback on what this podcast means to you, if you want me to keep going daily, if you're like, we could do with less, or just any thoughts, feedback, I'm totally open to that, because I don't know if the way that I'm doing this is sustainable. It's a lot to do this daily. But I don't know. Maybe I'll just regroup and go, I've set a precedent to do this, and I'm just going to keep going. But I feel like maybe I'll want to step back and maybe reanalyze, get a little bit more deliberate with what my goal is with this. But it's my year anniversary, everybody. So thank you to all of you who have listened or are listening. I hope that anything that I have said has provided a little bit of insight or wisdom or encouragement to you and whatever your journey is, whatever it is you're pursuing. So with that, I'm going to get this one a little short. But I love you all so much. I hope you're doing well. Your dreams are coming true. You're finding fulfillment and joy and meaning in your journey. This is the Paul Green Comedy PaulCast. This is for November 30th, 2024, episode 339 on my 1 year anniversary. I love you all so much, and I will talk to you tomorrow.